Humanity's last stand. The air in the war room was thick with tension as the leaders of the Interstellar Alliance gathered around the holographic display. Their once proud alliance had been battered and beaten, forced into retreat by the relentless onslaught of the Galactic Empire. Admiral Cassandra Ryder, the seasoned commander of the human fleet, stood at the center of the room, her eyes burning with a determined fire. "We're out of options, people. The Empire's forces are closing in, and we don't have the strength to withstand another assault." The room erupted in a cacophony of voices, each leader offering their own desperate plan. But Cassandra raised her hand, silencing the din. "There is one chance, one final gambit that might turn the tide of this war." She pressed a button on the console, and the display shifted to a star chart, highlighting a remote sector of the galaxy. "Here, on the edge of known space, lies a resource that could give us the edge we need to defeat the Empire." Dr. Akira Miyamoto, the chief scientific advisor, stepped forward, her expression grave. "The Omega Nexus, a source of unimaginable power, but also unimaginable risk. If we harness it, we could turn the tide of the war. But the consequences could be catastrophic." Cassandra nodded, her jaw set with grim determination. "I know the risks, but we have no choice. The Empire will not stop until every last one of us is crushed beneath their heel. This is our only chance, our last stand against the darkness that threatens to consume us all." The room fell silent as the leaders considered the Admiral's words, the weight of the decision heavy on their shoulders. Finally, the representative from the Xeno Alliance stepped forward, his eyes shining with a glimmer of hope. "Then we must act, and we must act quickly. If there is even the slightest chance of victory, we must seize it. For the sake of our people, for the sake of the entire galaxy, we cannot afford to fail." Cassandra nodded, her resolve hardening. "Then it's settled. Prepare the fleet. We leave for the Omega Nexus immediately. This is our final chance to turn the tide of this war. Humanity's future, and the future of the galaxy, hangs in the balance." As the leaders filed out of the war room, Cassandra stared at the star chart, her mind racing with the implications of their decision. The Omega Nexus was a power unlike any they had ever encountered, a power that could either save them or destroy them all. But she knew that they had no other choice. The fate of humanity and the fate of the galaxy rested on their shoulders, and Cassandra was determined to see it through, no matter the cost. The Forge of Humanity. The Interstellar Alliance's shipyards were a flurry of activity as the human engineers and scientists worked tirelessly to prepare the fleet for the perilous journey to the Omega Nexus. The stakes had never been higher, and the pressure was palpable. In the heart of the shipyards, Dr. Akira Miyamoto stood before a team of her brightest minds, her eyes burning with a fierce determination. "We've only got one shot at this, people. The future of humanity and the entire galaxy rests on our shoulders. We cannot afford to fail." Her team nodded in unison, their faces set with steely resolve. They knew the risks, the dangers that lay ahead, but they also knew that this was their last, best chance to turn the tide of the war. "The Omega Nexus is our key to victory," Akira continued, her voice unwavering. "But we must harness its power without succumbing to its corrupting influence. That means we need to push the boundaries of our technology, to create weapons and defenses unlike anything the Galactic Empire has ever seen." The engineers and scientists set to work, their fingers dancing across the holographic displays, their minds racing with ideas and innovations. They knew that they were in a race against time, that the Empire's forces were closing in with every passing moment. As the days turned into weeks, the shipyards buzzed with activity, the air alive with the hum of cutting-edge technology. Cassandra Ryder, the admiral of the human fleet, watched the progress with a mixture of pride and trepidation. "Will it be enough?" she asked Akira, her voice barely above a whisper. Akira met her gaze, her eyes shining with a glimmer of hope. "It has to be. We've poured everything we have into these new weapons and defenses. If they can't turn the tide of the war, then nothing can." Cassandra nodded, her jaw set with determination. Then we'll make it enough. We'll show the Empire the true strength of humanity, the power of our ingenuity and our spirit. We'll win this war or die trying. As the final preparations were made, the human fleet set out for the Omega Nexus, their hearts filled with a renewed sense of purpose. They knew that the journey would be fraught with danger, that the power they sought to harness could just as easily consume them. But they also knew that they had no choice. The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance, and they were determined to emerge victorious, no matter the cost. The warning shot. The human fleet dropped out of hyperspace, its sleek vessels cutting a majestic path through the endless void of the Omega Nexus. Cassandra Ryder stood on the bridge of the flagship, her eyes scanning the tactical display with a practiced gaze. "Status report," she demanded, her voice sharp and commanding. "All systems are green, Admiral," her executive officer reported. "The Omega Nexus is generating massive energy readings, but we're detecting no immediate threats." Cassandra nodded, her jaw set with determination. "Initiate the first phase of the plan. We need to secure a foothold and establish a stable connection to the Nexus." The fleet moved forward, its weapons primed and ready. But as they approached the Nexus, a sudden surge of energy rippled through the void, and a massive, imposing vessel emerged from the shadows. "Imperial flagship detected," the tactical officer shouted. "They must have anticipated our arrival." Cassandra's eyes narrowed as she recognized the distinctive silhouette of the Emperor's personal battleship. "All hands, battle stations, engage the enemy and buy us time to make the connection." The human fleet surged forward, its advanced weaponry pounding the Imperial vessel's shields. The two armadas clashed in a violent display of firepower, the space around them lit up with the brilliant flashes of energy beams and missile strikes. Aboard the Imperial flagship, the Emperor Xyloth watched the battle unfold, his eyes glinting with cold calculation. "So, the humans have finally come to test their mettle against the might of the Empire. Impressive, but ultimately futile." He turned to his officers, his voice dripping with malice. "Destroy them, leave no survivors, and secure the Omega Nexus at all costs." The Imperial fleet redoubled its efforts, pouring a relentless barrage of fire onto the human ships. Cassandra gripped the edge of the tactical display, her knuckles turning white as she watched her fleet sustain heavy losses. "We can't hold them off much longer, Admiral," her executive officer shouted. "We need to complete the connection to the Nexus, or we'll be overrun." Cassandra's gaze hardened with determination. "Then we'll give them a warning shot they'll never forget. All ships, concentrate fire on the Emperor's flagship. We'll show them the true might of humanity." The human vessels surged forward, their weapons blazing with a fury unlike anything the Galactic Empire had ever seen. The mighty Imperial flagship shuddered under the onslaught, its shields faltering as the human barrage pummeled its hull. In a brilliant display of power, the human fleet unleashed a devastating energy surge, ripping through the Imperial vessel's systems and crippling its engines. The Emperor's flagship, the symbol of the Empire's might, drifted helplessly through the void, a testament to the humans' technological prowess. Cassandra watched the scene unfold, a grim smile spreading across her face. "That's our warning shot, Xyloth. Now let's show the galaxy what we're truly capable of." As the human fleet secured a stable connection to the Omega Nexus, the stage was set for the final, decisive battle that would determine the fate of the galaxy. The decisive battle. The human fleet hovered before the massive, swirling vortex of the Omega Nexus, its vessels bristling with the latest in cutting-edge technology. Cassandra Ryder stood on the bridge of the flagship, her eyes fixed on the tactical display as her officers relayed the latest updates. "The connection to the Nexus is stable, Admiral," the chief engineer reported. "We're channeling its energy through our systems, and the results are beyond anything we could have imagined." Cassandra nodded, her mind racing with the implications. "Then it's time to show the Galactic Empire the true power of humanity. All ships, prepare for the final assault." The human fleet surged forward, its weapons blazing with a brilliant intensity. The Imperial vessels, caught off guard by the sheer force of the human onslaught, struggled to mount a coherent defense. Their shields are collapsing. The tactical officer shouted. The Nexus-powered weapons are tearing through their defenses like they're not even there. Cassandra's lips curled into a grim smile. Then let's finish this. All ships, concentrate fire on the Emperor's flagship. It's time to end this war, once and for all. The human vessels poured a relentless barrage of fire onto the Imperial flagship, their Nexus-infused weapons carving through its armor like a hot knife through butter. The mighty vessel, once the symbol of the Empire's unassailable power, shuddered and groaned under the onslaught. Aboard the crippled flagship, the Emperor Xyloth raged against his officers, his face contorted with fury. Impossible. How can these insignificant humans possess such power? One of his lieutenants, his face pale with fear, stammered a response. The Omega Nexus, my lord. They've harnessed its energy, and their weapons are tearing us apart. Xyloth's eyes widened with a mixture of terror and realization. Then we have no choice. Activate the Doomsday device. If we cannot have the Nexus, then no one will. As the Imperial flagship's systems came alive with a pulsing, ominous energy, Cassandra's eyes narrowed with determination. All ships, evasive maneuvers. That vessel is about to unleash a devastating attack. The human fleet scattered, its vessels weaving and dodging as the Imperial flagship unleashed a massive surge of energy, its power rippling through the very fabric of space and time. But the human ships, empowered by the Nexus, were able to withstand the onslaught, their shields deflecting the worst of the blast. In the heart of the chaos, Cassandra and a team of elite operatives fought their way onto the crippled Imperial flagship, their weapons blazing as they carved a path towards the command deck. Finally, they burst through the doors, their eyes locking with the terrified gaze of the Emperor himself. Xyloth, your reign of terror is over, Cassandra declared, her voice ringing with the weight of her words. Humanity has risen, and we will not be subjugated. Surrender or face the consequences of your actions. The Emperor's face contorted with a mixture of fury and desperation. Never, he snarled, reaching for a hidden weapon. But before he could act, Cassandra's plasma blade flashed, and the tyrant's lifeless body crumpled to the deck. As the Imperial flagship tumbled into the swirling vortex of the Omega Nexus, the human fleet regrouped, their vessels gleaming with the power they had harnessed. Cassandra stood on the bridge of the flagship, her eyes shining with a newfound determination. The war is won, she announced, her voice ringing with pride. Now it's time to forge a new future, one where humanity stands as an equal among the stars, and the Galactic Empire is but a distant memory. The Galactic Reckoning. The news of the Galactic Empire's defeat at the hands of the human fleet spread like wildfire through the galaxy, igniting a spark of hope in the hearts of countless oppressed worlds. The once mighty Imperial war machine, crumbled and broken, was no longer the unstoppable force it had once been. In the wake of their victory, the Interstellar Alliance emerged as a new powerful player on the galactic stage. Under the leadership of Admiral Cassandra Ryder and her team of brilliant scientists and engineers, the human fleet set out to liberate the worlds that had been subjugated by the Empire, their Nexus-powered weapons and defenses proving to be the decisive advantage they had so desperately needed. The galaxy has been held in the grip of tyranny for far too long, Cassandra declared in a holovid address to the newly liberated worlds. But no more. The time has come for a new era of cooperation, freedom, and technological advancement. We stand before you, not as conquerors, but as allies and partners in the pursuit of a better future for all. The response was overwhelming. As world after world pledged their allegiance to the Interstellar Alliance, eager to join the fight against the remnants of the Galactic Empire. The human fleet, bolstered by the combined might of these new allies, launched a series of decisive strikes, systematically dismantling the Imperial war machine and freeing countless worlds from its oppressive rule. As the war drew to a close, the Interstellar Alliance set its sights on a new challenge: the reconstruction and unification of the galaxy. With the Omega Nexus at their disposal, the human scientists and engineers embarked on an ambitious program of technological innovation, developing breakthroughs in fields ranging from interstellar travel to sustainable energy production. "We've only scratched the surface of what's possible," Dr. Ekura Miyamoto remarked, her eyes shining with excitement. "The Omega Nexus is a wellspring of knowledge and power, and we're just beginning to understand its true potential. The future is ours to shape, and we will forge a path that will echo through the ages." In the years that followed, the Interstellar Alliance emerged as a beacon of hope and progress, its influence spreading across the galaxy. The once fractured worlds, united under a common cause, began to rebuild, their economies and societies thriving in the wake of the Empire's collapse. And at the heart of it all stood the humans, their indomitable spirit and unwavering determination having earned them a place of honor and respect among the galactic community. As the stars twinkled in the endless void, the people of the Interstellar Alliance looked to the future with a renewed sense of purpose, determined to write a new chapter in the annals of galactic history. The Forge of Unity. In the aftermath of the Galactic Empire's defeat, the Interstellar Alliance faced the daunting task of uniting the disparate worlds and factions that had been subjugated under Imperial rule. It was a challenge that would test the limits of human ingenuity and diplomacy, but one that Cassandra Ryder and her team were determined to overcome. Across the newly liberated worlds, there was a palpable sense of hope and uncertainty. Decades of oppression had left deep scars, and the people were wary of relinquishing the autonomy they had fought so hard to regain. Cassandra knew that the path to a lasting peace would require more than just military might. It would demand a delicate balance of diplomacy, cooperation, and a shared vision for the future. "The galaxy has been divided for far too long," Cassandra declared in a rousing address to the Alliance's governing council. "Now we have the opportunity to forge a new era of unity and prosperity. But it will not be easy. We must rebuild trust, overcome centuries of mistrust and resentment, and forge a common purpose that transcends the boundaries of our individual worlds." To achieve this, Cassandra and her team embarked on a series of diplomatic missions, traveling to the far-flung corners of the galaxy to negotiate with local leaders and forge new alliances. They listened to the concerns of the people, worked to understand their unique histories and cultures, and crafted a vision for the future that resonated with their aspirations for freedom and self-determination. At the same time, the human scientists and engineers, armed with the incredible power of the Omega Nexus, set to work on an ambitious program of technological advancement. They developed groundbreaking innovations in fields ranging from energy production to interstellar travel, creating technologies that could revolutionize the lives of billions and lay the foundation for a truly interconnected galaxy. "The Omega Nexus is the key to our future," Dr. Ekura Miyamoto, the chief scientific advisor, explained. "By harnessing its power, we can build an infrastructure that will connect the galaxy, facilitate the exchange of ideas and resources, and pave the way for a new era of cooperation and progress." As the months passed, the Interstellar Alliance began to take shape, with member worlds committing resources, personnel, and a shared vision for the future. Cassandra watched with a mixture of pride and trepidation as the fragile alliance took root, knowing that the true test would come in the years to follow. "We stand at a crossroads," she told her senior officers. "The path ahead is filled with challenges, but also with immense possibilities. We must be vigilant, but also open to the perspectives of our allies. Only by working together, by embracing our shared humanity, can we truly forge a lasting peace and a better future for all." With a renewed sense of purpose, the Interstellar Alliance set out to rebuild the galaxy, their commitment to unity and progress guiding their every step. The road ahead would be long and arduous, but Cassandra and her team were determined to see it through, no matter the cost. The Guardians of the Stars. As the Interstellar Alliance grew in strength and influence, a new threat emerged from the shadows. a coalition of rogue factions and remnants of the Galactic Empire, united in their desire to tear down the fragile peace that had been forged. Calling themselves the Dominion, these forces launched a series of bold attacks, targeting critical infrastructure and sowing discord among the member worlds of the Alliance. Cassandra and her team knew that they could not afford to let this new threat take root, lest the hard-won gains of the past years be undone. "We cannot let the Dominion dismantle everything we've built," Cassandra declared, her eyes burning with a fierce determination. "We must act swiftly and decisively to protect the future of the galaxy." Assembling the elite task force of the Alliance's most skilled military and intelligence operatives, Cassandra set out to confront the Dominion threat head-on. Their mission was twofold: to gather intelligence on the Dominion's operations and power structures, and to strike at the heart of their organization, disrupting their plans and shattering their momentum. The campaign that followed was a grueling and high-stakes affair, with the Interstellar Alliance's forces engaging in a deadly game of cat and mouse across the vastness of space. Outnumbered and outgunned, they relied on their superior training, tactics, and the power of the Omega Nexus-derived technologies to outmaneuver and outmatch their foes. "This is no longer just about winning a war," Cassandra told her team. "It's about safeguarding the future of the galaxy and ensuring that the sacrifices of the past were not in vain. We are the guardians of the stars, and we will not falter in our duty." As the battles raged on, the Interstellar Alliance's forces began to uncover a disturbing truth. The Dominion was not merely a collection of rogue factions, but a highly organized and well-funded operation, with tendrils reaching deep into the heart of the galaxy's power structures. "They've been planning this for years," Dr. Akira Miyamoto revealed, her face etched with a mixture of horror and determination. "They're seeking to exploit the fragility of the peace we've built, to plunge the galaxy back into chaos and subjugation." Cassandra's jaw tightened as she absorbed the implications. "Then we must cut off the head of the snake. We need to strike at the Dominion's leadership, their command and control, and sever their connection to the resources and intelligence they've been using to fuel their operations." With a renewed sense of urgency, the Interstellar Alliance's forces launched a series of daring raids and surgical strikes, targeting the Dominion's key strongholds and disrupting their supply lines. The battles were fierce and costly, but with each victory, the Guardians of the Stars inched closer to their ultimate goal: the destruction of the Dominion's leadership and the restoration of peace across the galaxy. In the end, it was a hard-fought and grueling campaign, but one that ultimately proved the resilience and determination of the Interstellar Alliance. As the Dominion's forces crumbled and their leaders were brought to justice, the people of the galaxy breathed a collective sigh of relief, grateful for the unwavering dedication and sacrifice of the Guardians of the Stars. And as Cassandra stood on the bridge of the Interstellar Alliance's flagship, gazing out at the vast expanse of the cosmos, she knew that the struggle was far from over. But with the power of the Omega Nexus at their backs and the indomitable spirit of humanity guiding their way, she was confident that the Alliance would continue to serve as the bulwark against the forces of darkness, ensuring a future of peace, prosperity, and endless possibilities for all. The legacy of the Omega Nexus. As the dust settled on the Dominion conflict, the Interstellar Alliance found itself at a crossroads. The hard-won victories had come at a heavy price, and the galaxy was still reeling from the aftershocks of the prolonged struggle. Yet, amidst the chaos and uncertainty, a new vision began to emerge, one that would shape the course of the galaxy for generations to come. At the heart of this vision was the Omega Nexus, the enigmatic and powerful resource that had become the key to humanity's rise to prominence among the stars. The Interstellar Alliance's scientists and engineers had only begun to scratch the surface of its potential, and the possibilities it held for the future were both tantalizing and daunting. "The Omega Nexus is more than just a source of power," Dr. Akira Miyamoto declared, her eyes shining with a newfound sense of purpose. "It is a gateway to a deeper understanding of the universe, a conduit through which we can unlock the secrets of creation itself." Under Miyamoto's guidance, the Interstellar Alliance launched an ambitious research initiative, assembling teams of the brightest minds from across the galaxy to delve into the mysteries of the Omega Nexus. They studied its underlying structure, its energy patterns, and the way it seemed to interact with the very fabric of space and time. What they uncovered was nothing short of extraordinary. The Omega Nexus, it turned out, was a vast and complex network, a cosmic tapestry that connected the disparate worlds and civilizations of the galaxy in ways that had never been fully understood. By harnessing its power, the Interstellar Alliance could not only unlock new frontiers of technology and exploration, but also forge deeper bonds of cooperation and understanding between the diverse peoples of the stars. "This is our legacy," Cassandra Ryder proclaimed, her voice ringing with a sense of awe and determination. "The Omega Nexus is not just a tool, but a bridge, a way for us to transcend the boundaries that have divided us for so long, and to build a future where the entire galaxy stands united as one." In the years that followed, the Interstellar Alliance's efforts to unlock the secrets of the Omega Nexus bore fruit, ushering in a new era of unprecedented scientific and technological breakthroughs. Faster-than-light travel became commonplace, allowing for the rapid exchange of ideas, resources, and people across vast interstellar distances. Renewable energy sources, drawn directly from the Nexus, revolutionized how the member worlds powered their societies, promoting sustainability and environmental stewardship. But the true power of the Omega Nexus lay not just in its material benefits, but in its ability to foster a deep sense of unity and shared purpose among the peoples of the galaxy. As the Interstellar Alliance's influence grew, so too did the understanding that they were part of something greater, a cosmic community bound by the threads of the Nexus, working together to shape a future of boundless possibilities. "We are no longer just humans, or Xenos, or any other individual race," Cassandra said, addressing a gathering of the Alliance's leadership. "We are the guardians of the Omega Nexus, the stewards of a legacy that transcends the boundaries of our own worlds. And it is our duty to ensure that this power is used to benefit all, and to create a galaxy where peace, prosperity, and cooperation are the cornerstone of our shared existence." With a renewed sense of purpose, the Interstellar Alliance embarked on a new chapter of exploration and discovery, using the Omega Nexus to push the boundaries of what was possible. And as they charted the course for the future, they knew that they were not just building a better tomorrow for themselves, but for all the countless civilizations that would come after them, a legacy that would echo through the ages and beyond. The ascension of humanity. As the Interstellar Alliance's influence and mastery of the Omega Nexus continued to grow, a profound transformation began to take shape across the galaxy. What had once been a patchwork of disparate civilizations, each struggling to assert their own dominance, had now coalesced into a unified, collaborative network, a tapestry of diverse cultures and perspectives, all united by a shared vision for the future. At the heart of this transformation stood the humans, the once underestimated race that had risen from the ashes of the Galactic Empire's tyranny to become the driving force behind the Alliance's ascension. Their indomitable spirit, their boundless creativity, and their unwavering determination had not only secured their own survival, but had also catalyzed a new era of cooperation and progress that was redefining the very nature of galactic society. "The humans have proven themselves to be more than just capable warriors," observed Calren, the elder statesman of the Xeno Alliance. "They are visionaries, innovators, and true leaders, the kind of partners we need to forge a future that transcends the petty squabbles of the past." Under the guidance of Admiral Cassandra Ryder and her team of brilliant scientists and diplomats, the Interstellar Alliance had embarked on a sweeping program of expansion and integration. New member worlds were welcomed into the fold, their unique strengths and perspectives adding to the collective knowledge and capabilities of the Alliance. The exchange of ideas, resources, and technology flourished as the Nexus-powered networks facilitated the rapid flow of information and collaboration across vast interstellar distances. But the true measure of the Alliance's success was not just in its material achievements, but in the profound shift in the collective mindset of the galaxy's inhabitants. Where once there had been distrust, fear, and the constant threat of conflict, now there was a growing sense of belonging, of shared purpose, and of a collective responsibility to safeguard the fragile balance of the cosmos. We are no longer just individual civilizations, struggling to survive in a hostile universe, Cassandra declared in a rousing address to the Alliance's governing council. We are a unified force, bound by the power of the Omega Nexus and the common desire to create a future of peace, prosperity, and endless discovery. Together, we shall ascend to new heights and claim our rightful place among the stars. As the years passed, the Interstellar Alliance's influence continued to grow, its reach and power extending to the furthest corners of the galaxy. Its members became the custodians of the Omega Nexus, their intimate understanding of its secrets and their commitment to its responsible stewardship elevating them to a position of unprecedented authority and respect. And at the center of it all stood the humans, their once humble origins now a distant memory, their legacy as the guardians of the stars forever etched into the annals of galactic history. They had risen from the ashes of oppression to become the driving force behind a new age of enlightenment, a beacon of hope and an inspiration for countless worlds and civilizations. We are the architects of a new destiny, Cassandra said, her eyes shining with a profound sense of purpose. The Omega Nexus has given us the power to shape the very fabric of the galaxy, to forge a future where the boundaries of the past are erased and the limitless potential of the cosmos is realized. This is our time, our legacy, and we will not rest until the entire galaxy stands united as one. With a renewed sense of purpose and a deep reverence for the Omega Nexus, the Interstellar Alliance set forth, their star-spanning fleet and their legions of devoted followers ready to meet the challenges of the future head-on. And as they charted their course through the infinite expanse of the cosmos, the humans knew that their ascension was only just beginning. The eternal guardians. As the centuries passed, the Interstellar Alliance's influence and dominion over the galaxy continued to grow, solidifying its status as the undisputed power in the cosmos. Under the unwavering leadership of the humans, the Alliance had evolved into a sprawling, interconnected network of worlds and civilizations, all united by the common purpose of harnessing the limitless potential of the Omega Nexus. From the bustling, Nexus-powered megacities that spanned entire planets to the vast, interconnected networks of research stations and exploration outposts that pushed the boundaries of human knowledge, the galaxy had been transformed into a thriving, vibrant tapestry of progress and cooperation. And at the heart of it all were the humans, the eternal guardians who had dedicated their very existence to ensuring the continued prosperity and security of this new age. We are the caretakers of the Omega Nexus, the custodians of a power that transcends the limits of our own understanding. Cassandra Ryder, now a revered elder statesman, declared to a gathering of the Alliance's highest-ranking officials, "It is our responsibility to ensure that this gift is used wisely, to better the lives of all who dwell within the stars." Under Cassandra's guidance, the Interstellar Alliance had evolved beyond the mere pursuit of military or technological dominance. Instead, its focus had shifted to the cultivation of a truly symbiotic relationship between the Omega Nexus and the countless civilizations that relied upon its power. Teams of scientists, philosophers, and spiritual leaders worked in tandem to unravel the deep mysteries of the Nexus, seeking to understand its fundamental nature and its place within the grand tapestry of the universe. The Omega Nexus is not just a source of energy or a tool for our own advancement, Dr. Akira Miyamoto, now the Alliance's chief Nexus researcher, explained. It is a living, breathing entity, a conduit through which the very fabric of creation is woven. By learning to commune with it, to respect its power and its purpose, we can unlock the secrets to a future of unimaginable wonder and possibility. As the centuries passed, the humans' reverence for the Omega Nexus only deepened, their commitment to its protection and responsible stewardship becoming the cornerstone of their very identity. They became the eternal guardians, the keepers of a legacy that stretched back to the darkest days of the Galactic Empire's reign, when their ancestors had first harnessed the Nexus's power to secure the freedom of the galaxy. And as the Interstellar Alliance continued to expand its influence, reaching out to the furthest corners of the cosmos, the humans' role as the eternal guardians only grew in significance. They became the arbiters of disputes, the builders of new worlds, and the explorers of uncharted realms, their unwavering dedication to the Omega Nexus guiding their every decision and action. The Omega Nexus is the thread that binds us all together, Cassandra said, her eyes shining with a deep, abiding wisdom. It is the wellspring from which all life and all knowledge flows. And as long as we remain true to its purpose, as long as we continue to nurture and protect it, the galaxy will continue to flourish, and the legacy of the eternal guardians will echo through the ages. And so, the humans, the once humble race who had risen from the ashes of oppression to become the most powerful force in the galaxy, continued their eternal vigil, their commitment to the Omega Nexus, and the well-being of all who dwelled within the stars never wavering, even as the centuries turned to millennia. They were the eternal guardians, the keepers of a legacy that would endure long after their own mortal forms had faded into the annals of history.